Hey guys, RTT back here for that video. Guys, today I'm giving my review of the Surface Duo 2 after 2 weeks of owning it. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So my biggest issue with the Surface Duo 1 was NFC connectivity. And I've said this many times, the Surface Duo 2 literally is the reason why I can actually have this phone as my daily driver. I love the Surface Duo 1. Everything about it. I thought it was an amazing device. It had a beautiful hardware and just didn't really have the software, but overall it got the job done. With the Duo 2, I absolutely love the fact it has NFC. There's countless times while I'm at work, I don't have my wallet on me, I don't have anything but my phone, being able to go up to wherever I go ahead and check out at, just put this in phone mode just like this, go ahead and tap the actual screen, bam, with Google Pay, I'm able to go ahead and actually complete my purchase without any issue at all. And that's something the Surface Duo 1 simply did not have, and I will definitely say it made me not be able to use that as my daily driver. Now, there's a lot of positives about this device, and honestly, there's very few negatives, but there are some too. Let's start off with the positives. First off, the fingerprint reader as the power button. I love it. I actually love it. I didn't think I was going to love it that much. I really thought, it would be one of those things where it's like, all right, it's kind of cool. It's a gimmick. Like, you can actually go ahead and tap the power button, and if your finger is on it and you scan it correctly, unlocks the device. I didn't think it was going to be that easy and simplified. It really is. And I will definitely say, coming from a Surface Duo 1 owner, I think it's a nice extra touch. It's a nice little additional touch where you don't even have to go ahead and always just unlock your phone by actually going ahead and clicking the power button and then moving it over to the fingerprint reader. A lot of times when you're unlocking your phone fast, you don't want that. You just want to go ahead and tap it real fast, bam, pop up your display. Let's say you're in a rush or something. Easy as that. It's not like it's a huge deal because, yes, it takes one extra second to click on your power button, then your fingerprint reader. It's just nice to have them both together. Next thing, 5G. And I know a lot of people said down below in the comment section of my last review that 5G isn't really a big deal for them. I will definitely say, especially in the area I live, 5G is very widely used right now. And having 5G on this phone is an absolute delight. I use NFL Game Pass all the time on this device, and having the ability to stream NFL games on this device with the beautiful screens it actually has, and being able to stream at very high quality with being away from home, absolutely amazing. I'll definitely say the 5G on this phone has been through the roof when it comes to quality, when it comes to experience, and I will definitely say that was another really big upgrade from the 4G of the last phone. Now, while the cameras are still not really too big of a deal for me, it's amazing how I've kind of realized this more and more as I have used this phone. I still don't use the cameras pretty much at all. And, for my day-to-day life, I have a $2,000 mirrorless camera recording me right now. I have another $1,200 camera. I have $2,000 lenses. Like, I have very expensive lenses. I don't use the camera on my phone that much. And even though, yes, it's a really nice addition, it has a 12, 16, and 12 megapixel camera. And on the inside there, you also have a 12 megapixel camera right here. I just simply do not use it. And I wish I used it a lot more, but it really has not been something I've used a lot. But I will say, in the defense is, the other day I was taking some pictures at work, and it actually did come in handy. So, in comparing to the Duo 1's camera, it absolutely blows it out the water. So I will say it's a positive having the cameras added. I still dislike that camera bump. I mean, it is literally a massive pimple on this device, but it's one of those things where it adds a little bit of depth to the device. It adds a little bit of extra when it comes to usability wise. So I definitely will say it makes sense, although yes, it can somewhat actually be a nuisance. Next thing I want to talk about, guys, is going to actually be the build quality. And I said this many times, and I'm saying this again. The Duo 1, I love the device, but it felt like I could break the device within a second. This Duo 2 is heavier and it also feels just so much more durable. And I really can't imagine anyone could understand what I'm trying to say unless you feel Duo 1 and a Duo 2. If you feel both of those devices, you will understand what I mean by durability, because this phone just feels rougher, tougher, and it feels like it could take a hit and not break. And you guys already saw my one video. I actually, by accidentally, during a video, dropped this thing on my glass desk over here. And yes, I dropped it with the screens out like this, flat down on the screen. It didn't break, luckily for myself. But with that being said, though, I just feel like this is so much more durable. It just feels a lot better. And yes, that USB-C port right here is now in the middle, so it's not on the edge. And I have not seen anyone's USB-C port so far break. And that's a huge plus, because with the first one, a lot of people's USB-C port was breaking because of how cheaply it was made. This is not breaking for anyone that I have seen. And I will say I do use this bumper case, but as many of you guys pointed out, this bumper case is no longer what it used to be. And what I mean by that, guys, this bumper case is just for show at this point. This is kind of really disappointing by Microsoft, and I kind of took me some time to really figure this out, because I was kind of thinking to myself, I'm like, because a lot of you guys did leave amazing comments. I looked down below and I kind of looked at this and I thought, you know what this bumper case is for? It's just a fashion statement at this point. So the last bumper case actually protected your device very well, right? So the last bumper case, this is how much it protected your device. You see that? Like, this whole front part was covered by the bumper case. Now it is not at all. You might not even know I have a bumper case on this device. And the reason why this is actually a thing, the bumper case, right? Because it's not included with the phone anymore. It's now $40. It's a fashion statement. That's all it is. Why do you think this comes in so many different colors? And they even show off on the website. The phone will actually, you can have a blue, line across the whole entire phone. You can have a red thing across the whole entire phone. It's literally just a color scheme at this point. This isn't even to protect your device anymore. Because at the end of the day, look at this raises up maybe a 0.3 of a centimeter up. That's not going to stop anything from hitting this phone. The reason why the bumper case 1 was a thing like this was because it would protect it. If it hits right here, it protects the phone. So, like I said before, it's not, in my opinion, again, I don't really think it's meant to protect the phone. I think it's more or less just a fashion statement. They're going to charge $40 for it, and they can say, listen, you can make your Duo be white here and red around the edges, or black on red, or whatever color scheme you want, right? Or blue, whatever. So I think that's really all that is. I will say I do not recommend the bumper case. It does look good. It's flush. And I even said in my video, it looks flush. Other negatives about this device. It heats up really quickly. It really, really does. And I'm learning this more and more as I use it more and more. Is at first I was like, okay, it heats up sometimes when I'm doing this or that. No, it heats up a lot. And it makes sense, okay? This absolutely makes sense. You're taking a phone like this, you're putting a sheet of glass, open it up, a sheet of glass, and inside that whole entire unit, you're putting a Snapdragon 888 processor, 8 gigabytes of RAM, the latest and greatest tech in this device with a gigantic camera on the back. The reason why this device does not have wireless charging, they couldn't fit it in the device, guys. There's so many things in this device, they literally could not fit wireless charging in this device. That coil, all wireless charging, by the way, guys, it's a coil that's on the back here, and it just runs down, and that's how you wirelessly charge. It connects right to the battery. They couldn't even fit that in this device. When I say how compact they made everything in this device, look how thin that device is. And they had to compact everything in this device. So it does run hot. It's not to a point, like I said before with the old iPhones hot. It's not boiling hot, but it's definitely hot. And it's definitely it's a nuisance. It's a nuisance. It's not a big deal. It's a nuisance. One of those things where you notice it, but you're probably not going to really say anything about it. Because it's like, okay, this is a nuisance, but that's pretty much that. Battery life. I still have been getting amazing battery life out of this device. I will definitely say, surprisingly enough, and yes, this battery is bigger than the Surface Duo 1. I've been getting so much better battery life out of this phone than the Surface Duo 1. and it's only 30% a bigger battery, yet it actually feels like it's 100% bigger battery because of the fact of how much more battery life I'm getting out of this phone than the Surface Duo 1. And I'm actually really surprised about that because this does have 90 hertz displays versus 60 hertz, and usually when you up the hertz display count, that's usually when you get less battery. But again, it does have bigger battery overall. So I'll definitely say I've been getting amazing battery life out of this phone completely. And I will definitely say overall, I still love this phone. But I love this phone. And I'll say it like this, right? I see a lot of comments, people say, oh, this phone is awful. And I know a lot of guys who comment that they don't have this phone or they never use a Duo 1 or 2. So a couple guys even say they're like, I never use Duo 2. I never will use either phone. And I'll definitely say it like this. This phone, and I'll say it to this day, is not meant for someone who's never used a Duo 1 before. It can't be. You can't have this phone and literally say Duo 1, not ever have a Duo 1, let's say coming from an iPhone like this. You can't have this phone and fall in love, in my opinion. There are a very select few who will go from a regular candy bar cell phone or whatever and go to this phone and absolutely fall in love. But I feel like it's such a select few that mainly the people who fall in love with this device already have a Duo 1. They go from a Duo 1, a Duo 2, and they fall in love with this device. Because in every single way possible, this device is an improvement from this device. And if you fall in love with this device, which I have done many, many times over owning it just because of how amazing this device is, this device is just an upgrade in every single way. You're not going to be disappointed with this device if this is your device you're coming from. Now, if you're coming from a Galaxy Fold 3, where I will say that everything is more optimized and actually, perfected, you might not love this device. You really might not like this device if you're coming from Galaxy Fold 3. If you're coming from a candy bar cell phone, you're probably going to love this device. So in conclusion, guys, I want to say one more thing before we end off this video. I saw a lot of misconceptions down below, and actually, this is actually a really good thing. So the Microsoft launcher, I've said in the video before, is no longer in the Play Store and no longer is compatible from the Play Store with this phone or the Duo 1. The reason why is because Microsoft is now going ahead and actually building it into the software of this device. So instead of it being an actual separate entity, a separate thing in the Play Store, it is now going to go ahead and be just the default launcher, the actual optimized launcher for the Duo 1 and the Duo 2. The reason why Microsoft said they did this was because they want to go ahead and make this as optimized as humanly possible. They want to go ahead and make sure they can actually send updates, correct software issues, and just perfect this device. This actually is a huge W on Microsoft's part. This is showing that they're not just saying, hey, listen, we don't care about this device anymore. They are literally saying we are going to take our own launcher off of the Play Store for these two devices because the software we're pushing out, the updates we're pushing out, we want to perfect that launcher. And if we have it on the Play Store and you can just download it on and off, it would be too much of a file to download because it is literally optimized for this device. That's an absolute W. And I will say overall, I'm excited to see what Microsoft ends up giving us even more throughout the rest of this year. We're going to get more updates to this phone. It's not stopping now. And with that last update we got, perfected so many things. So after 2 weeks of this device, I absolutely love this device. But it's definitely one of those devices you're going to have to check out for yourself. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you.